Hi everybody, Fred Wagner, Papa's Painting Tips. Hey, I want to make a little announcement here on my homemade Claybord recipe. I've been struggling really hard for the past couple weeks trying to get the recipe to work out correctly for me, and it just hasn't. I've destroyed 5 boards in a row trying to do it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going wrong, what's going on. So today's little announcement, and I'll make it as brief as possible. I went over the original recipe that Steve shared with me, Steve off the forum and our airbrush group. And one of the things I did notice was the clay mixture. And I don't know if I was physically just doing it wrong and reading my notes wrong. But I want to emphasize 2 tablespoons of PVA glue and then 4 tablespoons of kaolin clay. I'm eliminating the acrylic polymer base out of the mixture. It's serving no purpose. And in fact, the last couple times I did it, when it would separate that acrylic medium, it's actually a golden airbrush medium. There's nothing wrong with the medium. It's just, it wasn't working out as well as it had before for me. I don't know. You could maybe I would put, if I was going to use it again, 1 tablespoon, not 2 to 3 tablespoons of the acrylic medium. That's kind of defeating the purpose of the glue, truthfully. So that's the main thing I wanted to share with you today. It's 2 tablespoons of glue, dilute it with water, add 1 tablespoon of kaolin clay at a time, mixing until you get to 4 tablespoons. Then and add water accordingly to keep it thin, like I've said in the video. Then next, sorry about the interruption, telephone rang. Blocked call, darn spam calls. Well, anyways, back to the recipe. After the 4 tablespoons of kaolin clay and adding in water as you mix to get it to a thin consistency, start adding your titanium white, which I believe was 4 teaspoons of titanium white. Mixing that thoroughly. After each time you coat this onto your MDF board, you want to make sure that you remix with your spoon, because it does want to separate on you. Thin coats, drying in between coats, 400 sandpaper each coat. The last sanding, you can do 800 after your 400. However, I found out something today. I didn't have any 800 grit sandpaper left. I was kind of bummed. So I went back in the house to get some paper towel to brush off some of the dust. I don't want to blow it too much because my lungs haven't been feeling too good lately with a dry cough from my medicine. But anyways, I found that wiping down the board with the paper towel, paper is abrasive. You got some abusive paper towel. Abrasive. So it's almost like using microfine sandpapers. So I polished the surface with the paper towel, and lo and behold, I've got a Claybord sitting here that's almost identical. Now, it's not quite as the store-bought Claybord. I won't say a name. I don't want to upset anybody. But here's the MDF board that I use. It's just a medium density board, MDF board. I'm not sure what the F stands for. I know it. It'll come to me later. But anyways, you can use this. Works really good. It's going to take about 6 coats to get a thick enough clay coat to cover that brown. You can also use, and which I may in the future go back to, using a whiteboard. Then you sand down. It's a marker board. Then you sand on that white surface to knock off the gloss coating that they've got on it, and you're back to just a paint surface. So you've already got some of your white down. You won't probably get away with 4 coats. But here is the other thing I want to share, and this is one of the big reasons I came on here today. After I paint my painting, I usually use this. Okay? It's a UV archival clear coat, and it's by Krylon Gallery Series, and it's a varnish. It's a clear varnish. Works very well. 1 coat, dries to touch in 15 minutes overnight. It's hard as rock. You don't get a real high gloss, thick, and it can run. You got to be careful because it can run on you. So I usually try to spray it almost flat, but then watch for little spit bubbles off of the spray top. However, on my Tiger Cub, I tried something new, and it worked really awesome. I was very excited by it. It's Rust-Oleum Triple Thick Glaze. It shows pottery on the front of it, but I use this over the surface, and it's almost like doing a pour on top with the acrylic enamel pour on top of the surface. This worked really well. 3 coats, light mist coat, almost like clear coat in a helmet or a automotive item. You mist coat to give it a tack coat, wait 2 minutes, give it a second heavier coat, wait 2 minutes, give it a third heavy coat. Not real heavy. You don't want to go too heavy. I shouldn't even say heavy. A moderate coat is what I did. And then leave it flat, put a box over it to keep dust off of it as it dries. It's dry to touch within 20 minutes, but I would stay away from touching it all night long. That's what I did. And on the Tiger Cub, it looks awesome. It's a glassy coat over the top, thick. You're not going to damage that paint at all. Hard as a rock. So, God bless y'all. Thank you for joining me today. And hopefully we'll get doing some art with you again. Get something up. It's just been very taxing on my phone to do all this videos anymore. Maybe someday, high-end camera. Who knows? Who knows? I'm experimenting a lot in my art field. I'm getting into some watercolor, and I'm doing the pyrography, doing the Claybord painting, and let's see what the Lord brings into my life. God bless. Thank you all for watching. I gotta stop looking at myself. I'm supposed to look at the camera. God bless you all. Take care. Have a good day. And I hope some of these little tidbits helps if you've been struggling with your making homemade Claybord and what to coat them now. Now you know what to coat them with at the end. God bless.